All right, chat. We're gonna watch the announcement. I know we've all been talking about it since it happened, but I wasn't streaming at the time, so I didn't give a live reaction. I did watch. I did watch it live because I was basically just kind of getting up and doing stuff around the house, but I wasn't streaming at the time. So I have already seen this announcement. I've had some time to think about my thoughts on the announcement itself. If you haven't heard, which you I don't know how you hadn't, but if you hadn't heard, obviously classic hardcore servers are coming. And as we'll go through the announcement, and I'll just kind of give my thoughts as we go.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, everybody, to the finale of the Hardcore All-Stars tournament. Luckily for us, Winky is also watching this right next to us on his phone, so that's fine. Guys, today we have the big announcement. The thing you've all been waiting for is that Winky got new shoes, but also nice, Grand from Blizzard is here with us today, and we finally get to hear what he has to say about the future of the game. So, Igran, if you can hear us, just make sure you can, and then we'll just
thanks for being
everything. Here. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks so much, guys. I'm super happy to be here. Before I get started, I really kind of want to, pass on the classic team really wanted me to let everyone know kind of how appreciative they are.
I always wonder, like, you see people that are like game developers or whatever, and they're doing like a call with headphones on instead of an actual gaming headset.
Are to this community and how much we've kind of been watching and enjoying this challenge play out over, obviously the past, 6 months or so, but also the past few years. I think if you've been watching Classic for any amount of time, you could kind of discern that the Classic team has sort of been hardcore enjoyers for a while. We were developing Season of Mastery, and when we did, we saw the Road to Rag push start up and everything like that. And we put in the Soul of Iron system.
No, hold on. Let me go back here. I think the Road to Rag push started before Season
of Mastery, and when we did, over, obviously the past, 6 months or so, but also the past few years. I think if you've been watching Classic for any amount of time, you could kind of discern that the Classic team has sort of been hardcore enjoyers for a while. We were developing Season of Mastery, and when we did, we saw the...
Okay, so they may have been developing Season of Mastery, but they hadn't announced the changes anyways, like to the raids. Because I remember they'd announced Road to Ragnaros, and then after people were like getting pumped up for that, then they announced the changes to the raid, and the people that were doing Road to Rag were like, okay, so now the raids are going to be way more difficult.
The Road to Rag push startup and everything like that. And we put in the Soul of Iron system kind of as just a direct nod to that challenge. And it's just been a total pleasure to watch it kind of grow into what it is now. We believe that what we're seeing now is sort of a genuine moment for WoW Classic, and that's why I'm here. Our team is incredibly excited to let everyone know that we will be adding official One Life Hardcore Realms to WoW Classic era later this summer. I know, shocking. No one saw it.
Okay, so so it's Hardcore Realms that are One Life, which is something that we talked about extensively. Like I'd mentioned on stream that they needed to make them One Life servers, so there was none of this appeal garbage that's going on. If you died, you died, and if that would also mean that the griefers, they I guess could level up themselves, but if they died, and if you saw a lot of these griefers play, like they're literally clickers, so them getting to 60 to begin with is a feat. Them actually winning against other 60s is probably, especially if somehow they're PvP flagged against them or something, like they're not gonna live very long. And these griefers are going to probably die very like quickly, and they'll probably just stop playing, to be honest. So I was a very, very big proponent. Like, I really wanted to see One Life servers. And I'm glad that they actually announced One Life servers, and it sounds, well, we'll continue on through the video, but
not ever have expected.
Not totally unexpected. But we're excited to be here to finally confirm it. So we'll be spinning up a public test realm for you guys to test out the full rule set sometime in the next several weeks. And while we're not totally ready to talk about every single little small detail, we did want to give a few tidbits to kind of give you a brief idea of how things might sort of work on an official hardcore realm. So, obviously the realm will be one life. That's
So the test realms, he said several weeks. I guess you could interpret several weeks however you want, but to me that means probably in the next month or 2 months, which means that you're probably gonna be able to test it sometime in June, I would think, and I'll definitely be testing those realms out just for fun, something to do on stream.
that's the most.
What are your thoughts about the auction house for new hardcore realms? My understanding is that the Blizzard development team wanted to kind of leave the hardcore rules to kind of the hardcore community. So they didn't want to like take out the ability for people to use items that were in the game that maybe the hardcore community would want to be allowed to be used in some of their challenges. Right now, to me, being able to trade or anything like that, it doesn't make the game hardcore anymore. That's softcore, and nobody likes softcore anything. So I honestly think that having stuff like the auction house, trading, the mailbox, all that stuff, it just makes it softcore, and we don't like softcore.
Important rule.
But I understand why they left it in there though, because it doesn't limit the challenges that you can do basically. So I understand why they did it.
And once you die, you'll no longer be able to resurrect under any circumstances.
And again, I love that you cannot resurrect once you die under any circumstances. So that's big for the hardcore servers. Then there's none of this appeal stuff. You can go onto the Discord and look at all the appeal crap, and like 50% of them, it's like, come on, dude, like you're gonna appeal that, like, you literally like. There's some. It's like there's that one quest that kills you in Tanaris or whatever. It's like you can't. It's not an appeal, man. You died. Like you should have known. Like the quest tells you you're gonna die, basically, right? So.
But you may log.
It is also bad for Blizzard to dictate the direction of the game too much. I agree with that. Yeah, they want to allow the hardcore community. The hardcore community's done a very good job. And I've been kind of like, I'll be honest, I've been kind of on the the outskirts of it. I didn't really participate at all in the Road to Ragnaros. I would love to have participated more, but I was running a guild at the time, and that took up a lot of my time. So I was doing that. But I personally think the Road to Ragnaros is the best, by far the best community-driven event that's ever happened in World of Warcraft. I don't think there's anything even really close. Save for maybe like the World of Warcraft tournaments, the PvP tournaments that Tips put on in beta. Those were a lot of fun. But the Road to Ragnaros is a huge event that was put out. So I like the fact that Blizzard has said, you know what, we're going to make it one life. And then that way, if you die, you're not running to Cargos and saying, hey, let me continue on, blah, blah, blah. It's just flat out, nope, sorry. Oh, you disconnected and died? Sorry. You had an error and your game crashed and you died? Sorry. It's fairly straight across the board. Nope. If you die for any circumstances, that's it.
In and interact with the game world as
it was important they did that.
This is mostly for logistical reasons, just to kind of allow you to, if you're a guild leader, hand over guild leadership or interact with friends that might be offline whenever you die.
That's
so you don't.
I honestly, when they announced that they were going to allow you to still enter the game as a ghost, I wasn't even thinking about stuff like guild leadership and stuff like that. Still being able to communicate. I think somebody said somewhere that it would be funny to have the ghosts who died. I can't remember where I saw the comment where ghosts died and it left a ghost in that spot, but I don't know how that would affect the game servers and data and all that sort of stuff, if it would create lag, or that you could still run around as a ghost basically and kind of meet up in a tavern or something like that. I don't know.
Lose some connections that way. Yeah, and the other thing is, as this challenge has sort of started and evolved as really a community movement, we don't feel it's super appropriate for Blizzard to come in and be
Whoops, what happened here? We seriously lagging?
Super appropriate for Blizzard to come in and be super prescriptive about how you choose to play and approach hardcore. And really, the primary rule there is just that the journey ends when you die. This means that some aspects of the challenge that your players are currently undertaking might be optional on official realms, and it also means some of the restrictions that we preserve may work slightly differently or be a little bit more flexible. And really, the main reason here is just to make an official hardcore mode sort of gel well with the kind of underlying social structures on which Vanilla WoW was built.
So yeah, that's
At the end of the day, the goal is really
he's was kind of alluding to what I was saying earlier. Is like for stuff like the auction house and stuff like that, they don't want to limit the stuff that the hardcore community can do as far as what types of accomplishments or challenges that they can do. Maybe somebody wants to have a challenge where you can use the auction house and stuff like that. Or maybe they want to allow you to use the auction house once you hit level 60. I'm a little bit worried about the fact that, you know, it allows bots an opportunity to actually, although if they're not going to limit stuff like trading and all that sort of stuff, then you got to start worrying about bots and bots giving you gold and all that sort of stuff. But, yeah, we'll have to think about that maybe a little bit further.
To make this as social of an experience as possible, and all versions of classic vanilla especially be as social as possible. So to give you a little tidbit of one feature in particular that we're kind of excited about, this might be a little surprise because you don't really think of PvP as being a big focus on hardcore realms, but there are those times when a disagreement just really can't be settled.
This was a good announcement.
So we're adding a new feature for this, and we're calling it Duel to the Death, and it's exactly what it sounds like. We've had a lot of fun developing this. We think it'll be a really awesome sort of like high stakes addition and a really fun thing, for obviously brave gladiators who want to undertake this kind of challenge, and also just spectators and people watching. The engineer who worked on this, he really wanted me to let you know that /Mach is one way to initiate the challenge.
Yes.
So
as an Alliance enjoyer,
that's a really neat feature. I don't know that I would ever participate in this, but I can already imagine like level 60s, like maybe once every few months or something like that, them having like an actual PvP tournament to the death, where there's brackets and all that sort of stuff. And if you die, that's it. Your character's dead, and that's the end of it. I could see something like that. It would be actually really, I think it would actually be really fun to watch, because you imagine somebody spent 60 levels worth of their time getting to 60, presumably more time to get gear, and then they risk it all in this big tournament. I think it would be very popular for people to watch on stream.
Myself, even I thought that was pretty good. So, shout out to Chase, one of the engineers on the team that made that for us. So there's a lot more. And as I said earlier, we'll have a PTR up and running with all this for you guys to look at kind of sooner than you think. So please keep an eye out for that. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, there is one more thing. So we know that everyone's been patiently waiting for more information on a season. We've been watching a lot of commentaries. I know
a lot of us have been really patiently waiting for an announcement for Classic Fresh, but that's not what this video is about, so we're going to leave it at that.
DMs are filled up with Psalm 2 win.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to talk about this Season of Mastery stuff that he's announcing, maybe in a separate video. So that's what I'll do. I'll just finish up with my thoughts on this video, and then we'll talk about the Season of Mastery stuff for another one. So anyways, my final thoughts for the hardcore servers is I do like the fact that they're bringing out these fresh servers. They did announce that it was going to be later this summer, so I'm expecting it's probably going to be sometime around late August. When does their fiscal quarter end? Sorry, hold on. It'll probably be late August or early September. You know how Blizzard is with launching stuff regarding what's this? Regarding their fiscal years, so I'll just expect that it's going to be sometime around August or September, just to get those subscriptions pumped up a little bit. But I'm looking forward to it, though. I think the way that they've announced it, and they're going to allow the classic community to kind of have their way with it will work best for the server itself. I'm glad that Blizzard isn't, getting their fingers all involved, because I think that they would just take away from it and possibly ruin it. So we'll leave it there for this video on the announcement for the hardcore servers and my thoughts. And in the next video, I'll talk about the hints that they dropped for the Season of Mastery and my thoughts on what I would like to see in the new Season of Mastery. All right, so we'll just leave it there. Thanks a lot. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please feel free to come by my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Alodar. I stream 5 or 6 days a week, and we'll see you then. Thanks a lot. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.